What's going on, guys? Today we are taking a look at Warbotron WB01-C Sly Strike, otherwise known as Not Swindle. So, as you can see, Sly Strike is a nice representation of what Swindle looked like in the original G1 figures. I think actually this is a better version of Swindle than any of the other versions we've ever gotten. He does have a bit of a backpack though, and that's really nothing you could do about that considering the way he transforms. Overall though, the robot mode is quite excellent. He has fantastic range opposability, swivels and hinges everywhere, and his wrists move, and he has two very nice guns, this large pink gun and then a smaller little hand pistol. Posability, as I said, is great for the guy, and you don't really have to worry about any real top heaviness because all of the joints are nice and strong, and he has nice, wide feet with big heels. Overall, I think this is a fantastic robot mode. Also, this guy has my favorite head sculpt from all of the three figures that have been released thus far. That smirk is just classic Swindle, and it looks fantastic. Not to mention, he has some of the best light piping I have ever seen on a third-party figure. Sly Strike's transformation is a little more difficult than I thought it was going to be initially. You do have to be a little bit careful with things. Getting the guns in and out of his hands is also a bit of a pain in the butt. Not really much I could do about that, except, grin, bear it, and try to figure it out for later. Especially with this, his main cannon, you have to line it up going into the hand off to the side because of the way his hands are done. And there's actually a little channel cut out right inside his palm that you slide the bottom of the grip into and then turn. It's just really weird. So, anyway, enough about his guns. Let's talk about the transformation. It's a little bit, as I said, more difficult than I thought it was going to be, but it's enjoyable, if that makes any sense. Start off with reach behind his back and pull up this section right above his head, and as you pull that up, you can open this little grate up and flip his head back into his back. And then bring this section all the way forward and down, and unfortunately this little piece pops off all the time. I don't know how I can fix that. I really wish it didn't pop off, but it does. Now that we've got this front of the Hummer up, you can grab the entire top part of the torso and kind of pull up on it. And if I move the arm out of the way, you can see how it's joined right here, right where my finger is. So you kind of pull forward and flip it up. And then you can wiggle the rest of this front section down and peg it into place as you just heard. Or I should say snap it into place. Then for the fists, you want to turn them so that they are pointing in. And then open up the bottom of the forearms and flip in the fists, like so. So we'll do that on this side. Turn it so that it faces that. Open it up and flip it in. And close the latch. And then this is where things get a little bit different than what you might have seen Swindles do, or Swindle versions do in the past. You actually unpeg the arm and swivel it so that the wheels that were on the top of the shoulders are pointed to the underside of this mode. And then they will actually flip up and peg into place later. But next we have to get the arms situated. But first, we have to come to the backpack here and fold out and up the Hummer bits. And then actually push them together. And they are actually on little sliders. Or the roof is on little sliders that you have to just get slid back into place. And I like to join the parts of the roof here so we don't have to do it later. It just makes things easier. Though, getting everything connected sometimes does take some brute force. So next we're going to take the arm and slide it up, turn it around so that it can bend 90 degrees, and then turn it out like that. And I think I have the fists turned the wrong way. Believe it or not, on this figure it matters. Because as you see, the doors will not close. A quick fix of just putting the fist in the right way, which is to have the bottom of the fist pointing out towards the top. I like to just pull it just a little bit so that you close it and snap it in. Okay, so then we slide the arm up underneath and then flip over the wheel, and the wheel will peg into place. So we'll do the same thing over here. Bring that up, bend it 90 degrees, slide it underneath the canopy there, and then bring the wheel around and slide that up into place. Now for the legs. This is actually pretty cool. You have these rear leg pieces that were the same on heavy tread, so flip those up, then come to the inside of the leg and flip the inside of the leg and fold that up towards the knees, fold up the heels, and then fold up the feet into the shins. Then bring the legs together, and then swing them up underneath the top of the canopy, like so. And then we can start bringing the bits of the canopy down, and the canopy bits will peg into place along the body of the car mode, like that. Sometimes you just gotta give it a little heave-ho and flip the windshield down, and then realize that you've got everything slid out of place, so you kind of have to return and slide everything back into place, and swear proficiently. Here we have his Hummer mode. I find the Hummer mode to be really, really nifty. I wish it was a little bit more aerodynamic, but let's face it, Hummers aren't exactly known for their aerodynamic properties. Overall, it's a great little mode. I really like it a lot, and it rolls freely. The wheels, while plastic, feel good, and overall the figure just is a lot of fun. I mean, the Warbotron series is turning into one of my favorite, if not my absolute favorite, third-party combiner sets so far. The figures are just great, and yeah, there's a little bit of, I want to say, quality control issue with some of these bits here, like in the front you've got scuffing from removal of parts of the runners, but overall it's a solid figure. Returning the figure to robot mode, the only thing you really have to be worried about is this connector right here, the back of the windshield connecting to the legs. That has a tendency to get stuck, and the best way to remove it is to get behind it and pop it off. That really is the best way to transform that bit. But overall, the transformation's not as bad. It's nowhere near as finicky as Heavy Tread or as Airburst. Is that the other one? Anyway, it's just a solid figure in my opinion. A lot of fun, pretty darn easy to transform, and thankfully, you don't need a screwdriver in order to loosen anything in order to transform him. If you're wondering what I'm talking about regarding transforming and screwdrivers, go back and watch my Heavy Tread review. The arms on that guy, you really do need a screwdriver in order to loosen them enough so that you can transform it. And that's a little bit on the worrisome side, just a little bit, but shoot. You really do want something like a screwdriver to loosen his forearms so you can transform his arms. And this part appears to be stuck. Okay, nothing a little bit of brute force won't fix. So far, the Warbotron set has not steered me wrong. I really like these guys, and I'm really happy that I took the time to go ahead and pick them up. You can pick them up at BBTS. They are available and in stock as of this recording. So guys, I hope you enjoy this video review of Warbotron WB01-C Sly Strike. As usual, I am baltmatrix, and I'll catch you next time.